Hey guys, Jason here, and welcome to another Duel Masters deck profile video. Today we are going to be going over our new Wave Strikers deck. Wave Strikers are interesting to me because they're one of the decks that perfectly embody the tempo playstyle in the TCG. I feel like there are a lot of decks that perfectly embody stuff like aggro, mid-range, and control, but not too many embody the tempo playstyle. That is, a deck whose win condition centers around timing by either moving forward or pushing the opponent back. We recognized the limitations of our previous list and took some inspiration from our god and fellow DM2 vs. Abo and managed to put together a more complete list featuring all the old favorites. So starting off, we have 4 copies of Merly the Oracle. Merly is just the best 2-drop for this deck. You could be playing Uncanny Turnip, but I feel like Merly is just a much better play all around. This is because Merly's effect can trigger while he's already on the field, as opposed to Uncanny Turnip, which needs to be played from your hand. I feel like in many ways, Merly is what makes Wave Strikers a little bit crazy, because it just makes your guys so strong and your opponent can't deal with them. Like, it puts your guys out of range for board clears, for example. Now, Uncanny Turnip is pretty cool. He's not the best 2-drop, but sometimes it does help to play him on turn 2 if we have enough Wave Strikers in our hand to stream turn after turn to get the abilities by turn 4. The main reason, though, we have Uncanny Turnip is because he acts as an engine of sorts for the deck. You know, when you put him in the battle zone, you put a card from your deck in mana, and then you get something from mana into your hand. So it just really helps you squeeze like every as much as you can out of your mana, especially, which is important for a deck without that much mana ramp. Now, next up, we have 4 copies of Bronze Arm Tribe, who's actually a new addition to the deck. We replaced Macho Melon, and the reason for that was because we wanted the deck to play a lot less linearly. Basically, the reason to play Macho Melon is it just increases your outs to having a Wave Striker on turn 2, and that tries to maximize your chances of having the Wave Striker abilities by turn 4. But we found that a lot of the time, Macho Melon wasn't actually that useful. He was quite easy to deal with. And in comparison to Bronze Arm, who could sort of change the strategy of the deck in a meaningful way, we preferred Bronze Arm. Now, what can Bronze Arm do for us? Well, we're actually playing a few copies of Mist Rias, so Bronze Arm can get you a turn 4 Mist Rias, which can be very strong. I think just being able to pivot strategies between games is quite important because you're not always going to open with loads of Wave Strikers in your hand, and we found that Macho Melon didn't make that big of a difference. So yeah, the ability to change strategies is really what sold us on Bronze Arm. And, you know, we get a bit of mana ramp too, which is nice. Okay, so moving on, we've got 4 copies of Sapien Tark Flame Dervish. This is probably my favorite Wave Striker. He's just really good. He can attack untapped creatures, and he can really create a stranglehold on the field, and it makes it very oppressive to play against for opponents. You know, whatever they summon, you just kill it with Sapien Tark. You think of Baz, but this guy costs way less, and then he stays on the field, right? So, pretty wild. Sapien Tark is also really cool because he's a good way to play around Aqua Surfer. Like, let's say you're in one of those tense situations. If you have 2 Sapien Tarks out, it's Aqua Surfer actually doesn't do very much because you can just kill Aqua Surfer with the other one. And yeah, the next 3-drop we've got is Azra, Vizier of Safety. So this is probably not one of the less exciting Wave Strikers in the list, but it's a solid 3-drop. I think it's better than Ninja Pumpkin. I think the blocker ability is more useful than the cannot be blocked ability, since this guy can probably kill the blockers anyway. So yeah, I think more copies could be fun, but I think 3 copies is just consistent enough. So yeah, that's why we have Azra. Now for the next card, we have Big Bad of the deck. Oh, not Big Bad of the deck. It's Soulswap. This is, I think, our first deck profile to feature Soulswap, and it's just well, the card is busted, really. It's a way to cheat out our more expensive creatures, and like Uncanny Turnip, lets us squeeze as much as we can out of our mana. A very reasonable play is if we're not able to stream Wave Striker after Wave Striker, you could actually take a calculated risk and play Soulswap and get out a Mist Rias on turn 4, and if the Mist Rias sticks, then you're off to the races. The next card we have is new favorite, 4 copies of Jagila, the Hidden Pillager. So this is the reason we play Darkness. 5 mana, Wave Striker ability. Your opponent discards 3 random cards. It's really strong, and it can really, it can really win you games in many ways. Like, you just drop this turn 5, it's basically Lost Soul, and then your opponent has no answers. And then if you have like this guy, you just kill everything. And yeah, it's really, really good. Next card we have 3 copies of Mist Rias. So Mist Rias is acting as the draw engine of the deck. When a creature hits the field, draw a card. So as I talked about earlier, there are ways that we can sort of like, not really cheat at Mist Rias, but get Mist Rias out a little bit early with these 2. But the fact that these creatures are so cheap just make Mist Rias very good. You just draw card after card, and then let's say you're on like 6 mana, you summon this, you draw a card, you draw into this, you summon that again, and then suddenly your board is flooded with Wave Strikers, and that's really what you want. Now, moving on to the trigs, we've got 4 copies of Burst Shot. Burst Shot is mainly to deal with aggro. I think hard casting Burst Shot isn't bad. Like, if you're afraid of losing, you only have 1 Sapient Tark out, and you need to clear your opponent's board, that's fine. But really, we play Burst Shot. We play 4 copies of Burst Shot in the hopes that it sticks in our shields and our opponent playing aggro breaks into it. For Darkness, we've got 4 copies of Terror Pit, much to the surprise of no one. It's just, a very good shield trigger to have. It's easy spot removal. And as you can see here, we need the max shield trigger counts to beef up the card counts of these civs, because otherwise it gets too inconsistent and we don't find what we need. To be honest, like, even with these counts, sometimes it's quite tricky to find what you need. To finish off the deck, we've got 2 copies of Killstein, Nebula, Elemental. This is the ultimate finisher. It makes all of your guys super strong, gives everyone blocker. So when you play him, you can just like go crazy. What I like about Killstein is that you're able to get the effect straight away when you summon it. So you can summon Killstein, and then you can just start killing stuff with like Sapient Tark, for example. Like if like 6-7k wasn't strong enough, you can just start going crazy. Now, Killstein can be a little bit weak to decks playing both Surfer or Locomotiver and Holiaw, because you have to break 2 shields when you summon him, and then if you break those 2 in a tense situation, it might cost you the game. I mean, like, Holiaw negates the fact that she gives blockers to everyone. But, this card's a crazy fun card. If you really wanted to, if you wanted to be on the safer side, you could probably replace this card with Cryptic Totem. It would be a bit slower, but your win would be more guaranteed, so to speak. So that's always an option, but we like Killstein. So yeah, that's our new and improved Wave Strikers deck. It's a pretty fun deck. It's probably wild is the adjective I would use to describe it, but I very much like the idea of the Wave Strikers. They're just this Black Ops team who are designed to kill stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.